right, we'll go ahead under item A3, and I'll call the meeting to order and move to A4, roll call of members present this evening.
Mr. Allen is absent. Gary McClellan.
Here.
Matt Melcher.
Here.
Matt Roth.
Here.
Kevin Yarger.
Here.
Ryan Wall.
Here.
Carrie Heim. Here.
All right, thank you. We'll now go to item A5. Are there any revisions of the agenda this evening?
No, we do not have any revisions to the agenda this evening.
All right, we'll now go to B1 core values discussion.
Well, it's an exciting time of our board meetings that we get to celebrate our student achievements, and what a better way to start off our first board meeting as the school year has started. And let me just read to you, and we are so excited to honor this student. It is with great pride that we gather tonight to honor a remarkable student athlete who has not only excelled in her sport, but has also exemplified the core, has achieved an extraordinary milestone in her athletic career. On May 31st, at the prestigious IHSAA State Track and Field Meet held at the Robert C. Hall Track and Field Complex of Indiana University in Bloomington, Alice competed in a 3,200-meter run against the state's top runners. She earned an incredible 8th place finish with a remarkable time of 10 minutes, 36.13 seconds. Alice's accomplishment is a testament not only to her hard work, discipline, and dedication, but also to the support and encouragement she has received from her coaches, teammates, and family. Her achievement reflects the commitment to excellence that we strive to instill in all of our students. Alice, your determination and resilience have inspired us all. You have shown that with passion, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in oneself, anything is possible. On behalf of the Huntington County Community School Corporation, we congratulate you on this outstanding achievement and look forward to seeing all the great things you will accomplish in the future. Please join me in giving a round of applause to Alice Friesen for her incredible performance and dedication. Alice, we are so proud of you. Well done. Tonight we have the privilege of recognizing and honoring some remarkable individuals whose dedication and commitment to our schools and community truly embody the core values we strive to uphold here at the Huntington County Community School Corporation. First, we are excited to welcome Officer Daniel Lowe's of the Huntington City Police Department as the newest addition to our school resource officers. Officer Lowe's will primarily be stationed at Riverview Middle School, where he will play a crucial role in ensuring the safety and well-being of our students. We are confident that Officer Lowe's will make a significant positive impact on our school community. Next, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to Officer Ben Whitman of the Huntington City Police Department and Officer Don Whitney of the Huntington County Sheriff's Department. Their ongoing dedication and tireless efforts in keeping our schools safe and forging meaningful connections with our students and community do not go unnoticed. Their presence and commitment are vital to creating a secure and supportive environment for our children. We would also like to extend our sincere thanks to Chief of Police Corey Boxell and Sheriff Chris Newton. Their unwavering support for the integration of school resource officers within our schools is instrumental in maintaining the safety and security of our educational environment. Their leadership is a cornerstone of our continued success in this endeavor. Additionally, we are grateful to Mayor Richard Strick for his exceptional leadership and steadfast commitment to the youth of our community. Mayor Strick's efforts in fostering positive connections and providing valuable support to our schools are deeply appreciated. To all of these individuals, your dedication and service make a profound difference in our community. We want to thank you for your exceptional contributions and for embodying the values that make our schools a better place for every student every day. And also let me share as well, Chris McCutcheon, our Huntington City Assistant Chief of Police, was also in the photo. Did I miss anybody? That was a list. I'm telling you, that was awesome. What a great group, and we're so appreciative of your support to our school corporation. Congratulations. Mr. Trout, that concludes our core values for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. We'll now go to item C1, public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board, typically on issues and matters that are on the agenda, but right now we have one person signed up, David Van Gorder. And if anyone else would like to say anything, after he's finished, you can come to the microphone.
Can you hear me? Good evening, Board. I have just a few things tonight I'd like to discuss with you. First one being how we present the financial numbers here. Let's just face it, it's very boring and it needs context, which I don't think we're getting. What I recommend is creating financial dashboards. I have done this in large corporations where we have key performance indicators or KPIs where we can easily have digestible data where the community doesn't have to understand all the nuances of, the school administration, what they report to the state. For example, we can have enrollment numbers, trended enrollment numbers over several years to see the decrease or increase in student enrollment. The next one is school bus safety. We just started school, and I live on 24, and in the first 3 days of school, we had 2 violations of the school arm. And we had many, many ones last year, probably averaging once every 2 weeks. I do know you guys work with law enforcement to pursue these cases. However, I think we need to make a larger communication to the community to emphasize the importance of school bus safety. Too many kids get injured, and it's just preventable. The next one, marketing dollars. We, as a school corporation, don't have the funds of a Carmel, of a HSC, where we have a large, wealthy tax base. We're working class. We need to act like it. We don't need school branding at the cost of, $75,000. That money can be better spent towards students, teachers, schools. It's just going into ether. The last one is I want to applaud you guys in pursuing partnerships, and I want to encourage you guys to build on it. The partnership with Parkview Health is bringing in dollars. The partnership with Indiana Wesleyan is bringing in school nurses, and I think there are more out there. There's more opportunities for our kids to learn new skills, valuable skills that will help them be better, earn more money, and just have a greater experience here. Thank you.
All right, would anyone else like to address the board? Excuse me. All right, no one else having come forward, we'll move on to items D 1 through 13, the consent agenda.
Yes, we're going to highlight a few of these for you this evening. The first one is the field trip request from Mr. Park, who is here this evening for you. This is what I call the annual trip that he puts together with that. We wanted to give a few minutes here for you to ask any questions. Steve, do you have any points that you would like to make first, and then we'll open it up to the board with that then, okay?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to once again come forward with this request. Before I do, I had kind of an epiphany about 3-4 days before school. I was telling Ryan and Cindy that I opened my classroom door to a gift thanks to each of you encouraging some renovations in the science department. I've been doing this for 30 years and never really gotten choked up when I opened my classroom door. That changed this year. And we all know that programs and, new drywall and things like that, they're secondary to the kids that come in the classroom. But if we can do everything we can to give our kids what they deserve, I really appreciate that from my heart, that it was a pleasant experience walking into that room this year. So I want to thank each one of you for that. We really appreciate that. Secondly, the reason I'm here is for our APES field trip this year again. I think Cindy handed out kind of a color copy rather than just a text copy like we get on my learning plan, of more detailed schedule of what we do. I thought you might be interested in seeing almost minute by minute what we do. At the very bottom on the back page, I kind of highlighted a couple changes, not really changes, but additions that I'd like to make this year. And the first one is we would like to fly into Miami instead of Fort Lauderdale for logistical reasons. Financially, it's about the same, but for busing and for hotel logistics, it's a little bit easier for us. The second one is when we were down at the Brenton Environmental Center last year, we noticed that they have the opportunity for some shallow water ecological studies. So I'm going to add a kayak tour, which adds a little bit of a cost, but the educational benefit will be huge with that. Also, if you remember when the kids presented last year on our trip, they kind of pointed out the coral nursery, and we're going to expand that this year as well, so our kids get some additional hands-on opportunities in the world-class coral nursery there, to the point where they're actually be cutting corals and replanting corals. And then finally, we're going to schedule a tour at the U.S. Coast Guard Air Station Miami, so that our kids can kind of see how they help protect our coastlines. Our son's stationed there now, so the commanding officer gave us some additional opportunities there that our kids can experience. So be willing to take any questions. Not a whole lot has changed the last couple of years, as you can tell there, but more than willing to address any questions or concerns that you might have.
Mr. Park, I just want to say personally thank you. Each year the students come back and they have such a powerful experience with you. You taking time out of your schedule to do this means so much to me personally. And so I just want to say thank you to you, because this is a trip that our kids will never forget. And I am personally grateful for your leadership in that. So thank you.
Well, I would like to think that the comprehensiveness of this and the experience that the kids receive helped with our AP exam scores, which I'm not going to brag about, but we have some pretty amazing kids here. But there, as you know, when you travel, it's so much more than test scores. It's how you treat other individuals. How do you treat each other in small groups, and how do you get through airline security, and just all those small things that kids may not have the opportunity to experience. And so that's one of the huge highlights for me. So thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Park?
So what are you capping it, the number of students? Do you have a number in mind, or going to try and
How
take
many
everybody
students
there?
do we have here at Huntington North? Last year, we took 37. My numbers are down a little bit this year because it's the third year that we've run it, so we've kind of caught up those kids who have already had the opportunity to take it. So we're looking around 20 this year, and which is a great number, I think. So I'd love to charter a plane, but
Thank you for doing it.
Well, I'd like to address your first comments and say It's awesome that we have these new facilities, but it doesn't work if we don't have great teachers like you. And I'm happy my youngest is in one of your classes this year. And so we really appreciate you and all that you do, especially getting out in front of this and, not presenting this to us a month before and scrambling. Clearly, you guys are pros at this trip, and the more you do it, it's just going to be better and better for the students. So thank you.
Yeah, I tell my kids that even though they've got like a month or two to plan, this started the week after we landed. So you've got to you guys know what it's like when you're making travel plans like that. And financially, I want to make it feasible for the kids and fundraisers and things like that. So I am pleased and proud that we have a lot of silent community partners that step up. If I have a student that, can't pay half or, is a little bit short, I guess part of that might be that I've been doing this long enough that you just kind of develop connections. But we've got some amazing community members that will say, hey, I don't want my name on a T-shirt. I don't want, my name out there, but here's a check so this kid can have this opportunity. So those are just kind of things that happen behind the scenes, and we have an amazing group that we work with. So,
Any other comments or questions? Well, thank you, Mr. Park.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. We'll vote on it here in a couple minutes, Number 7 in this area is some more ECA renewals for you that we are having at Riverview Middle School. So I want to draw your attention to those, whether it be band, color guard, musical, show choir, vocal, yearbooks, robotics, etc. We're also adding one additional name to a lunch officer, security officer for us this year, Officer Hillman. So I want to draw your attention to that. Number 9 is, we talked about this at the last school board meeting. This is the actual MOU, Memorandum of Understanding between Indiana Wesleyan University and HCCSC with the Step Up program. And so you have that, all the details there. I personally want to say thank you to Mr. Peters for his leadership with this. He has been incredible with this day to day. So Jay, thank you for all your leadership with this area. Number 10 is the actual memorandum of understanding with our adjunct teachers taking part in the Indiana Wesleyan Step Up program there, and I've listed those for those 4 individuals for you there, and we so much appreciate what they're doing for their students and colleagues and schools as we speak to that. Mr. Roth, do you want to comment on number 11 with the superintendent evaluation there?
Yes, I'd be happy to. We went through an evaluation process of Superintendent Trout pursuant to his contract, and he is rated highly effective, and based upon that rating and the contract that we have, he's receiving a stipend that's equal to the same percentage that highly effective employees received. And so pleased to have that on the agenda this evening, and pleased to have Mr. Trout with us.
I'm pleased to be here.
Yes.
So, yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I just do want to say to all of you and the community, wow, thank you for your continued support. Emails, text messages, phone calls, dropping by means a lot. And so I'm grateful and looking forward to another year here with all of you. We have I want to request you accept some donations here and some grants. The first one is HCCSC is requesting permission to accept a grant in the amount of $68,007 from STEM Integration Grant to be used for STEM curriculum, professional development with First Makerspace in our K-12 buildings. So thank you for that. Lincoln Elementary Schools is requesting a permission to accept a donation in the amount of $699 from Donors Choose, awarded to Mrs. Stevenson's class to be used for literacy block in her classroom. And thirdly, Huntington North High School is requesting permission to accept a donation of $200 from Vincent and Brad Burridge, I hope I say that right, in honor of David Houston, to be used in support of the BAM program in various ways. Last one is acceptance of the payroll and payable register. The format looks completely different to you as a board and to our community, and I want to make note of that. As you as a board are aware, and some of our community may be aware, is that we have been going through an extensive conversion with our business software over the last few months. And so now we are in the process of using it full-time. And so today, not just today, but over the last couple of weeks, we're officially live with a new financial software, which is called LAO. This means that while reports will begin to look differently, they will reflect the same type of information that's been presented to you before in the past. Now, what I'd like for you to do is, this is really your first glance at this and seeing it in this format. If you would like to see it changed in any way, shape, or form, please let me know. What you'll notice is a major difference is in the new accounts payable report, because now we have both amount column and a check total column. You will see that there. We have not had that before. The amount column reflects the amount of the individual invoice, and the check total reflects the running grand total of the register for all invoices in line for payments as a quick reference. So you'll notice, as I'm looking at Matt's screen here, you'll see those two that are there. At the next board meeting on the 26th of August, we'll have updated payroll reports, which will be provided for approval of the August 2nd and 16th payrolls. Anytime you go through a conversion, you're expected to have a few bumps in the road, and we did just that with payroll. I am very proud of the department. They've been working very hard. I believe as of this afternoon, we are ready to roll with the new payroll. We'll get that out to staff on Wednesday to take a look at before the payroll on Friday to see if any corrections haven't been made. But I just wanted to make note of that to all of you on number 13 with the accounts payable and payroll vouchers. So I'm just seeking your approval of all of those 13 items.
All right, thank you, Mr. Trout. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion before we vote? I would just say, looking at the personnel report, kudos to administration and principals in filling. I know the end of the year, or the beginning of the year leading up to it, is stressful, and I believe we're ready to go this year.
Yeah, we are in a blessed place. We are full. We've got to have all our staffing, teaching positions filled. I think we're looking for a few yet paras that would help us out with that. But when you look at all of our staffing positions, we are thrilled with where we're at here at the beginning of the school year. So thank you.
Anything else? All right, hearing none, we'll vote on the motion to approve the consent agenda. All right, motion passes 6-0. We'll now go to E1, records retention schedule.
Yes, I'm seeking your approval this evening of the enclosed records retention schedule. Changes to this general retention schedule are listed on pages 14 and 15 of this document. The majority of the changes were language, with one new record series added for the general obligation bond register. The school retention schedule has not changed for the most recent schedule adopted by all of you last spring. This is a document which we follow closely in all our records retention. And so we are currently in our central office going through a lot of these processes right now. And so I just wanted to bring this back to you to let you know that as it relates to the schools, you'll say, well, where's the changes? There's really hardly any to the school piece of that. But for us to continue to move forward, we need your approval for this. So I am recommending your approval of the county local general retention schedule. And it's for the public as of the Indiana Archives and Record Administration. So that's what we need this evening. So thank you.
Sure, thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the proposed records retention schedule?
I make a motion that we approve the updated record retention schedule as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments before we vote? All right, hearing none, we'll vote on the motion to approve the updated schedule. Man, if you're in government class, you should have come to this meeting tonight.
There you go.
All right, motion passes 6-0. Now move to item F1, teacher appreciation grants.
Yes, this is one of our school board policies, 3220.01. House Enrolled Act 1001 requires school corporations to adopt an annual, which is why we're bringing this to you this evening, policy concerning the distribution of the teacher appreciation grant, and the policy must be submitted to the IDOE for approval by the close of business on Friday, September the 13th. For your information, we usually learn about these amounts sometime in the fall, and we have traditionally paid these out to our teachers, this money out to our teachers sometime in December of each year. So to meet all these requirements, as I just listed, I'm seeking your approval of School Board Policy 3220.01.
All right, thank you, Mr. Trout. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the proposed policy for the teacher appreciation grants?
I'll make a motion that we approve the policy as presented for the teacher appreciation grants.
Is there a second?
Second. No, that was her. Did you not hear? It was Carrie.
You beat me to it. It's fine.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote on the motion to approve. Somebody's not working?
It's coming.
Okay. All right, motion passes 6-0. Now go to item G1, School Board Meeting Calendar 2025.
Okay, I don't know if we're going to be at a point to approve this evening, but I wanted to get this out in front of all of you so we could at least begin talking about it, so we can get our calendars arranged for the calendar year 2025. A couple of pieces with this I want you to look at. You'll notice that our first meeting is on January 13th, which is our organizational meeting by law. That's what we have to do at that point in time. A change this year, you'll notice the second meeting in January is not a work session, but a board meeting. is because it was just too long of a time frame between board meetings that we had in January and in February. So we changed that second one in January to to a board meeting. The other pieces with this we need to talk about. I don't know here if we know when the 4-H fair is quite yet for next year, but that July 21st may be in question there. Jay, I'm sorry, you and I had a passing conversation today. Do you know any more information about that?
I don't. The Fair Board has not set those dates. They've not confirmed them yet, but said that the corresponding dates from this year's fair would
Right.
go to the 25-20.
So that's why we may want to hold off here for a little bit, but I wanted to have that date, and I believe we're okay with the September 22nd date with the ISBA State Convention. Ryan, is that right? Is that
Yes,
what
it's
you
actually
found
the week
out?
prior to that. I got word from ISBA today.
Okay. So the only time we're not on a Monday is the 27th of May. So what I'm proposing is we just table this today, but I wanted you to look at this as a board and see if there's any other changes that you would recommend. And as soon as we learn about the 4-H fair next year, we'll be ready to roll with this, but I did want to get it in front of you so that we could begin adjusting our calendars accordingly. Questions, thoughts, comments? Okay. All right, thank you.
So we'll just keep that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, if Jay and I learn when the 4-H fair is, that'll be the last piece of information we're going to need for next year's school board meeting dates.
Okay.
Then, okay?
All right, we'll move on to G2, items of discussion by board members.
So after the work session on Wednesday, I met with Mrs. Kitchen and Kenny Butler and a couple other people today. We discussed Salamoni's logo and branding, and I think that I'm confident that we have a direction that we're going to move. So it was a good discussion, and all parties were in agreement moving forward.
Good,
So.
thank you.
All right, anybody have anything else? All right, hearing nothing, we'll move on to H1, adjournment. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right,